Corporate governance is critical to the sustainable development of any nation. Understanding the role of the capital market in catalyzing this, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, in partnership with the Convention on Business Integrity, launched the Corporate Governance Rating System. In a welcoming address, the head legal for the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Mrs. Tinua Awe, described it as a critical initiative considering the recovery of companies from the financial crisis of 2008. She also described it as a framework for promoting integrity and sound business ethics.
It is essential to develop initiatives that encourage shareholders and other stakeholders to become more active on corporate governance issues. The CGRS is such an initiative in Nigeria. The CGRS was conceived at a crucial period when companies were recovering from the throes of the financial crisis, some of the root causes of which lay in significant governance lapses. Based on interactions in 2012, the Exchange and CBN shared the view that weaknesses in the business environment, inadequate disclosure and transparency about financial dealings, corruption, poor compliance with codes and standards, poor understanding of fiduciary responsibilities on the part of directors, and major failures in corporate governance were some of the factors that affect investor confidence in the market.
In his opening address, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Mr. Oscar Onyema, described the CGRS as a prerequisite for economic growth and believed the adoption of this initiative will guarantee market efficiency.
At the Nigerian Stock Exchange, in our recent history, we've had issues around lack of good corporate governance. And when we decided to really focus on it and address those issues, it became very clear that it wasn't good enough to only look inwards and fix ourselves. We needed to go to all of our listed companies and all of the stakeholders in the marketplace and really get corporate governance up there, up front, because that is what will bring back confidence in the marketplace. And that is what will really guarantee the sustainability of the Nigerian capital markets and the Nigerian economy by extension.
Highlights of the occasion were keynote addresses from former President of Nigerian Stock Exchange Council, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, and the current President, Mr. Aigboje Aiki Mokwede, who both commended the Oscar Onyema-led Nigerian Stock Exchange for the initiative of the CGRS, which they believe will bring efficiency and confidence to the market.
One of the issues that we have, is something to do with corporate governance. So I believe it is very good for us to all participate in it. I mean, for us, meaning Dangote, listed companies will definitely go through this rating system. And I know that it's not a very difficult task, but I think it will be good for majority of our companies that are operating in the exchange to participate, so that we'll try and disabuse the minds of all these, especially foreign investors, including the local investors that have actually lost money during the crash of 2009, 2010, to say that, yes, this is a new exchange led by a new team.
The Nigerian Stock Exchange recognizes the role that exchanges can play in facilitating economic development. And beyond platforms, beyond automation, beyond rules, we know that there is a lot more economic development can be achieved through exchanges like ours. Emerging markets suffer a big challenge, and that is a challenge where investors say that our systems, our economic systems, our political economic systems can do with greater improvement. Essentially boiling down to the issue of good governance. Governance is simply about the formal and informal rules by which political, business, and social transactions take place. We may be focused indeed on business today, but in the true sense of it, if we in the private sector ask ourselves, what do we complain about the most? It's about governance. So we believe that governance is good for economic development, and we challenge the public sector to improve its rate of governance.
Corporate governance will be the pathway for business and economic stability. For the Nigerian Stock Exchange, it has set the trail with the CGRS, which should reform the Nigerian business environment.